Hi guys, it's Tanya with Scraptastic Creations. Today I'm going to do a one-page layout, and I'm not using a specific paper packet. I am going to use cardstock. I was recently inspired by Close to My Heart. Karen did a one-page layout using the Lucky to Know You stamp set for St. Patrick's Day, and that inspired me, so I am going to scrap lift that and do something a little different, put my own little spin on it. And this is one of the stamp sets on sale, and is on sale for only $10. So like some of these stamp sets are 60% off, so it's like an awesome deal. I am going to use this Lucky to Know You title and the rainbow just like she did, only she used irresistibles, and I don't have any irresistible. I love the irresistible paper, but I didn't have it, so I thought, well, what could I do? So I'm going to show you what I did to make my own irresistible paper. So these are the photos that I'm going to use. This is my daughter, Faith, and this is her Uncle Scott. And he recently drove up from Ohio, or down from Ohio, and he surprised Faith and came to visit her for a little bit, and it was really exciting. So I wanted to document that for her. So this white paper is cut at 10.5 by 10.5, and this little black mat behind there is 10 3/4 by 10 3/4. So I went ahead and put them together so it's easy to work with. And then I already went ahead and did these, but I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do. So like I said, they used irresistible paper, and I didn't have irresistible, so I brought in this dainty pattern stamp set, and I took these stamps. I took every one of these stamps except for this heart, and I made my own pattern. And so what I did was I brought in some white embossing powder, and I went ahead and took my 7 pieces of 1.5 by 3, and I went ahead and I embossed them, and then I heat set that. So that is going to create a resist on this paper. And then I'm going to color it to create my own pattern paper. So I'm going to show you how I do that. I just want to show you real quick in the core catalog what those irresistibles look like. And these are 12 by 12 irresistible cardstock. And you get 2 of each one of these patterns. And you just ink them up and with a blending brush or a sponge, and then kind of wipe them off with a tissue so the white really pops up. And there's also letters, and these are sticker letters, and I've used these. These were a lot of fun. So let me just demonstrate to you now, since I don't have them, how I'm going to make irresistible pattern paper. So I did take this and I put it on a block, and I'm going to use my Versamark, and I'm going to ink that up. I'm going to take my anti-static pouch, and I'm just going to give that a wipe. And then I'm going to stick my image down, and then I'll do it again to get the rest of it. And then I'm going to use my white powder, and I'm just going to put my tray under there. I'm just going to add that down there. And then I'm going to heat set it. So the first one, I'm going to use the colors that they did, the Seabrook, the green apple, and the avocado. And then I'm going to bring in some fun little, some shamrocks. These were on the Flower Market Cricut cartridge. So I went ahead and cut that out. I'm sure you can create one in Design Space or use any kind of 4-leaf clover that you have. I am going to take these now, and I'm going to show you how I color them. So I'm just going to get out the avocado ink, and I am working on my, of course, my layout is on my Versamark, my Versa mat. I always have it on there, but I'm working on the all-purpose mat, and I'm just kind of tapping off this ink, rubbing it off. And this is the avocado ink. This is super easy to do, and you can do this as dark or as light as you'd like. I think that looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to take a rag, or you can use a tissue, and I'm going to wipe that off, and it takes it right off of the white. And that embossing powder created a resist, and we went ahead and created our own pattern. So I do love the patterns that Close to My Heart has in the catalog. They're great, and it's super easy and fun, and you don't have to spend the time embossing these. But if you wanted to, but like I said, I didn't have them, so I had to like think of what I could do to create the same effect. But if you wanted to create something a little different, like you didn't want to use those dainty patterns and you wanted to do hearts, or you wanted to use a different background, you can really customize and really create your own background and your own stamps with a white embossing powder, and to create this resist just the same as I am. So that looks pretty good. So I'm going to do the rest of these off camera, so you don't have to watch me color every one of these. And then I will color in the green apple and the Seabrook as well. I really love how that came out. I did go ahead and glue my black and white mat down to a piece of clover cardstock, and I think these came out so pretty. So again, I did these simply using the dainty patterns, and I did all of these with these. So even this, so I went ahead and used this. I did it the one way, and then I did it the other way, and I just used embossing powder and heat set it. It's white embossing powder, and I created my own resist pattern paper. And you can do this in any color or with any shape, image, icon, and just create your own little resist paper. So let's build this layout. So I've got my photos, and I'm going to put them in the same place that Close to My Heart did, that Karen did. And I am going to bring in these 4-leaf clovers, these little shamrocks, and I'm going to pop them. And I did use a Cricut cartridge for that. I used the Flower Market. So I'm going to put these in the same places that she did. And I did pop these up, and I'm going to show you how I did that. I add a little bit of foam to the back of them. And I also went ahead and put some glue down on the ends so my ends did not stick up. So I just added a little bit of glue on my end. And then I took these and I cut these. And when I made these shapes, I just went ahead and made them 1/4 of an inch smaller than the background, so I had that shadow effect that she did in her video. Only she used different 4-leaf clovers. So I think those are good. I'll probably put this one down here, and I am going to pop this one up, and we're going to build with our stamp set. We're going to build that little image. So I'm going to bring in this Lucky to Know You stamp right here, and I'm going to stamp that in black, probably intense black ink, or actually I'll use black archival ink. I'm going to stamp it in that, and then I'm going to, but before I do that, I'm going to put a little ink down here with the Seabrook, and I want just to create a place for that image to rest. So I haven't used this before, and I want to go ahead and season it on the back of my hand just to take that manufacturer little film off of it. Now you have never used this, so I'm going to practice real quick on my scratch paper right here. Okay, that came out perfect. So now let's hope it comes out perfect on my layout. So I'm just letting that soak in for a minute. Perfect. Again, that was the black archival ink. So I do want to, I'm going to stamp the rainbow, and I think I'm going to stamp that in, probably candy apple. So I'll stamp my rainbow in candy apple, and I will cut it out and be right back. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in these tags. They're the tags and tabs, and I went ahead and I didn't cut the whole thing because I'm not going to use it, but I cut it in avocado, and I did the light side, and I am going to put that in underneath of here just to give it a little interest over there. And I went ahead and cut the rainbow out in candy apple, and I just fussy cut it, and I was just careful to move my paper, not my scissors, when I cut that out. Just a little tip when you're fussy cutting. So I'm going to stick that here. We are going to put those shamrocks on here, and I'm going to kind of have this peeking out here, and put a few more up here, just kind of randomly floating over here, kind of like they're like cascading. And I did cut the tab out as well in avocado, and I was thinking about putting it up here and putting the date on there. I thought maybe that would be fun to do. Keep getting these little pieces of paper everywhere. I just feel like that needs like a little bit of ink distressing around there. So I'm thinking of bringing in my avocado and kind of just inking in the same tone-on-tone color, just to kind of give it a little definition around those tags and the tab. And then I'm thinking about what I'm going to do here to build this cluster here. I am going to bring in those little shamrock stamps that were on that stamp set. There was 3 of them. This one looks a little bit like a flower, but I thought it was really cute. So I am going to bring those in and kind of randomly stamp them on there, and then around the title as well. I am going to bring in, I'm also going to bring in some gold shimmer trim, and I'm going to stick that right down here. So I did go ahead and put a little distressing around the tag to see what I thought, and I tied this little golden white ribbon from my stash. I thought that it drew the gold over here. And I did cut out 2 more tags, one in Seabrook and one in white. And I'm going to put these here and give these something to be anchored on. But I do like the distressing, and I went ahead and distressed in the Seabrook. So I wanted to do that. And while I do that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my photos and why I chose these photos. So this is my daughter's Uncle Scott, and I told you he recently came, drove up and came for Bike Week to Daytona Beach, and he came by to see Faith. He made sure he came to see Faith, and the reason why I find that special is because Uncle Scott is not a blood uncle for Faith. He was with her aunt at the time that Faith was born, and they split up, and he chose to remain being her uncle, and he's been a really great uncle. He never misses a birthday. He doesn't miss Christmas. He always calls, check on her, see how she is. And when he's come to Florida, even when he came 5.5 hours away, he took a day trip and made sure he came to see Faith. So I just think that's really special how he's just always been a part of her life and continued to stay in it and be her uncle. So I think that he's lucky to have her, to know her, but she's just as lucky to know him. And again, I just think that's really special, and you don't always have that in an aunt or an uncle. And so I just chose to document those photos for this layout. Another thing that I did is I stamped that tab, and I cut that tab out in the avocado, and I told you I was probably gonna put the date on it. But then I was just thinking that I used all of these stamps for these, but I didn't use this one. So I just thought I could put that up there, and I'm gonna kind of slip that right in there and rest that line kind of right on that, right there on the top of the picture frame. But I do want to go ahead and distress that a little too with the Seabrook. And the reason I chose to use the Seabrook instead of the avocado was because I put it down here, and I just thought it just gave it a little bit, it just kind of popped a little bit more. And so I did do that. And I stamped this in avocado, so it is a tone on tone. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in the green apple, and I'm gonna bring in some of these other little shamrocks and kind of stamp those around. So I am gonna off stamp them here on a piece of paper first, and then I'll go ahead and bring in, I'll just go ahead and flip my mat over. Yeah. So I'm just kind of holding that down, letting it soak in. That's super cute. Are you guys messy scrapbookers? Because I like got ink all over my fingers. I am like a messy scrapbooker. I like wear the ink. Oh. Super cute. And I think we'll put, no, I think I'll leave that. It's a little odd number. Nope, I'm gonna bring one right in over here. Then I'm gonna leave that. And then I'll bring in the other one, the next size up. So I want to add some gold glitter gems, and these are just out of my stash. These aren't available anymore. They do have some silver glitter gems, but these ones are not available anymore. But I just want to draw that gold in a little bit more. So I will have all of these products listed in the description. And if you haven't already done so, please go ahead and like and subscribe to this video and hit the little bell button so you don't miss any videos. When I post them, you'll get that notification. And I really appreciate your support. I'm still feeling like I like it. It's cute, but I'm still feeling like it needs a little something else. So I have a couple ideas. So maybe we will add in a few more of the cascading shamrocks. And we haven't used this one yet, so maybe we'll do that in Seabrook. That will be fun. So let's try that in Seabrook. And I'm gonna off stamp that on a piece of paper. Oh, that is so pretty. Okay, so definitely let's pull that in. And we'll pull one in up here. Super cute. And we'll pull one in down here. I'm loving it. And we will put one in How about here? That is so cute. I love that. Oh, I just want to add a bunch more. And then you know what I think I'm going to do? I think that I will add some more of these, but I think I'd like to do it in the Seabrook. So I'm just going to stamp this off here real good, real quick. So let's add a few more of these. Oh, it's cute. Very cool, very cool. Okay, so I like that better, but I'm still like, man, this needs a little something more. So I have another idea, so stick with me. So I brought in my all-purpose mat. I'm gonna do a little bit of splatters with my gold shimmer brush just to add in just a little bit more gold. And I don't want that on my photos. I'm gonna give it a little squeeze. Perfect. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. I hope you can see how pretty that is. That is perfect. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more down here. So I'm gonna cover my photos. And then I'm gonna cover that green because I don't want it on there. Get that right there where my title is. So let's see that. Oh, can you pick up that, the little gold that's all got the little flecks on there, the little gold shimmer? That is so pretty. I love that. It was like the perfect touch. I'm even thinking about bringing it in. I'm thinking about bringing it in a little bit over here so we can cover our green and cover our photos. And we'll take that right in over here and get a little bit on that tag and a little bit right there on that. Oh, so pretty. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. So, I'm thinking that looks pretty good. I think that is super pretty. I really hope the camera is picking that up. So again, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and like this video. Leave your comments in the description. I would love to hear your thoughts and what you think of this layout, and if you scrapbook your St. Patrick's Day. Again, thank you. Until next time.